Good morning. Welcome to Mile High Living. I'm Gina Bellich. Well, when we're sick, we go to a doctor. And when your car's acting up, you take it to a mechanic. But just 17% of Americans seek expert advice when it comes to their finances. Joining us today is the president of EdgeRock Wealth Management, Kyle Odell, to talk about why even just a little financial advice can go a long way. Kyle, welcome. Let's first off start. Why does someone need a financial advisor?
So meeting with a financial advisor, I think the main reason is because everyone needs a financial plan. So when we're looking at a financial plan, it may be different depending on the time that we are, where we're at in our life. When we're younger, maybe we need help with a budget, help getting out of credit card debt or paying down student loans. But then as we get closer to retirement, now we want a plan that's going to look at everything that we have going on with our retirement assets, maybe the real estate holdings that we have, our pensions, Social Security, and so forth. So we want to have the confidence heading into retirement that we're going to be okay. And I think a financial advisor may be able to help with that.
This might seem like a silly question, but what exactly is a financial plan? I mean, what all are you putting into it, and what should you be talking to your advisor about?
I think that's just a fantastic question. It really is. So a financial plan really needs to cover 5 areas. Number one, we need to look at the investments. And I find that one of the biggest mistakes that's made out there is oftentimes people equate a financial plan just to having really a snapshot of their investments to figure out, okay, I have X amount of dollars, am I going to run out? That's not really a financial plan. So we need to look at managing the investments, which create an income. So that's the second piece, the income. We have to replace that paycheck that we're so used to, right? Now when we have income coming in, now that creates taxes. So that's the third piece. So now we need to have a financial plan that helps us to reduce taxes so we're not paying too much to Uncle Sam. Right? That's incredibly.
We don't want to do that.
No, we don't want to do that at all. And then the fourth piece is healthcare. So as we move along, we might need a plan for assisted living, nursing homes, and so forth. And your health insurance or Medicare does not cover that. So we need a plan for that. And then the fifth piece is estate planning, helping us to pass money on to heirs and our kids and grandkids and keeping estate taxes down. So that plan needs to be all-encompassing, holistic. It needs to look at every piece that you have.
All right, let's talk retirement. You go to retire and you think, oh my goodness, do I have enough money? I think that's the first thing everyone thinks, right? So
Yes.
What are the elements we really need to take into consideration and talk with a planner about?
So I think the big piece on that is when you talk with a planner, you need to make sure that they're listening to you. What are your concerns? And does that plan really address those concerns? That first question always is, Kyle, do I have enough? That's the first thing I hear every time. So that's the first thing we want to figure out. But we want to look at everything that really that financial piece encompasses. One of the big ones, I'll give you this. So Social Security for a married couple, did you know that there are over 500 ways to file? All the applications, all the ways to do it.
Oh, that
right?
just makes my
over
brain
500,
hurt thinking
right?
about that.
And so this isn't stuff that most people do every day.
Right.
And so meeting with a financial professional that doesn't just look at your portfolio, that looks at the full picture to encompass everything that you have going on. And one of the biggest concerns I hear from most people right now is, Kyle, I'm really afraid that taxes are going up down the road. So that plan needs to encompass that also.
So we know what a financial plan is now. We've kind of got that out of the way. But what role then does that play in just our economic future?
Right. So one of the big keys is every time we get a new administration in the White House, the rules change.
Right.
Okay. So President Obama, he made changes to the financial landscape out there, and so your financial plan needed to really adjust accordingly. And then same thing when President Trump came into play. So with all that, we had what was called the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. If you remember back, a lot of families had a change with how they filed their taxes a few years ago, and tax rates dropped. The estate planning threshold went up to 11 million, meaning if your net worth was under 11 million, you probably don't owe any estate taxes. Now with Biden coming into office, that's probably going to drop down to 3.5. So now a lot more families fall into that. So the rules are about to change again. Mm-hmm. So we need to then have another checkup with a financial advisor, maybe also an estate planner in there also.
So let's say we've got our plan, we've got it in place, we might even have figured out retirement maybe a little bit. Then are we done with an advisor at that point? Can we go, okay, thank you, I gotta go?
I wish it was that simple.
Right.
But unfortunately, the rules are changing, so we need to stay in contact. And that's where I think an annual checkup makes sense. Because if we think back a year ago, how many of our lives have changed over the last year?
Yeah.
100%,
Wow.
all of us, right?
Yes.
Dramatically. Well, and that also affects our financial future. So we need to do a checkup. If we look at it, the market last year took a tremendous drop and then ended up being a decent year. But it doesn't mean just because the market was up that your portfolio was up.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to adjust that plan accordingly as to how you've performed over the last year. So I think a quick annual checkup, whether it's 15 minutes or an hour with that advisor to do that quick checkup really makes sense. And then on the estate planning side, that's at least something I would do every 5 years. Go back and think about the big picture of what I've got going on and
Sure.
passing money on to kids and grandkids.
Yeah, as your kids age, their needs change too.
It
Kyle,
does.
that's why we have you here. Thank you so very much. If you want to know if your retirement plan covers all of these moving pieces, just visit EdgeRockWealth.com and download their free retirement checklist to find out if you're truly prepared to retire. EdgeRock Wealth Management paid for today's segment, and we'll be right back.